Hi viewers, welcome to Majesty Christian Television Network. My name is Apostle Helen Ruth Dokeno, introducing Nenita La Rose to you today. Nenita, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. I'm very
I'm
grateful.
privileged to have
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Well, we are featuring a very special guest, Mrs. Nenita La Rose, who is a candidate in the forthcoming Amsterdam municipal election. She is contesting under the PvdA, that is the Dutch Labour Party, under number 5 on the candidate list. In addition, she is also the president of the Dutch Women's Council. Nenita has the following to say: much has improved in Amsterdam and in Zuidoost, but a lot still needs to be done. I know how much families still worry about daily life and about the future of their children. I know the problems that are still hidden behind many front doors in our city. So join our live discussion with her now as we stream on our Facebook Voice of Niger on Razo, or you may choose to give us a call on the studio line if you want to interact on 101 with her. So the studio line is 020 33 74 160. In case you are calling from outside the Netherlands, remember it is plus 31 20 3374 160. So join us as we showcase a prominent woman, a God-fearing woman, a woman with virtue, a woman that I have come to love because she has a lot to offer to us in this city. Once again, welcome, Nenita.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So, now tell our audience a little bit more of who you are, because what I just said is just a little about you.
Yes.
So tell us more about
Who I am.
who you are.
Yes.
Who is really Nenita La Rose.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
You're welcome,
Yes,
sweetheart.
yes. Yes, as you said, Nenita La Rose. I was born in Suriname.
Really?
Used to be a former colony of the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And when I was 6 years old, my mother decided to take her 2 children to the Netherlands, where my father was studying.
Okay.
And yes, I grew up here in the Netherlands, in one of the Amsterdam neighborhoods, which is called the Pijp. Was a poor neighborhood where working people lived, etc.
Yeah.
So at that time, I'm talking about the last century in the 60s.
Wow.
I was the only black girl in my class.
Really?
Yes, there were not many people there at that time, and
Yeah.
And people were wondering, touching my hair, and asking, "How do you live in Suriname?" All those things were.
Don't tell me this.
Yes,
so
yes,
they will not touch your
yes,
hair.
and very often I said, "Don't touch," because. But yeah, because it was still, we were a kind of curiosity in those days.
Yeah, yeah.
And well, you had to try to adjust, and people
funny, really.
watching you, etc., staring at you, but also in a good way.
Okay.
Because one of the things that taught me, well, in Suriname, my grandmother taught me about solidarity.
Okay.
When you had an apple and we were with 4 or 5 others, she said, everybody can have a bit because there's enough for everybody. So
Yeah.
if you cut it in 4, then everybody can enjoy it.
Yes.
So when I was in Amsterdam at that time, my father was a student. My mother worked very hard. I was the oldest of 3 children at that time. So I had to help in the household as well.
Okay.
And I went to school, and they said everybody could take their favorite doll. And I didn't have any dolls. I didn't have any toys at all, because my mom said, to have food on the table is more important than having
having a doll.
Yeah. So the neighbor from downstairs, she overheard the discussion, and she kind of mobilized another neighbor from another block.
Yes.
And they found in the attic, they found a doll for me.
Oh.
So there was a kind of solidarity,
yes.
you know, because they didn't know me, etc. That
yes.
kind of was planted in my heart.
Yes.
And that's always something I kind of remembered, which is so important, to be there for each other and to help on different things.
Yeah.
So, yes, that was my the experience in the Netherlands. I always say I'm kind of the product of different cultures, two cultures. When I was a teenager, my parents remigrated back to Suriname, and I went with them, and I finished high school there. And when I was 18, I returned here to study.
Okay.
So by myself, and the family was there. So it was. Hardworking, lonely, but I managed. You have to at some point. And, and I know what it is to be poor. You know, all students are poor.
Yeah.
But luckily at those times you had those little packets of soup, those dry soups you could boil with water.
Yeah.
And they were very cheap, I think 20 cents at that time.
Okay.
And you know, I just had enough to have some soup. You know, those were hard times. But kind of they make you strong.
Yeah, it's true.
That's true. So I worked a lot, etc. But in the end I studied law. Okay. So I finished it here in Amsterdam, the Amsterdam University.
Yeah.
And I've worked for the Amsterdam municipality for almost 20 years.
Yes.
In many different, fields. And the last years, I was a director here in the Stadsdeel Southeast. You know, as dealing with public service, with security, veiligheid, all those things. Yes, and it was very nice at that time. And I'm talking about 2001 till 2007.
Okay.
Yes. So
really?
Yes, because my husband and I, Nenita La Rose is my husband.
Yeah.
The love of my life. He's my partner in everything.
Yes.
We love a lot. We laugh a lot.
Yes.
We live here this year actually for 35 years in Amsterdam Southeast.
Wow.
Yes. Together with our 4 children.
Awesome.
And we now have 2 granddaughters.
But you don't look it at all.
Yes.
You're going to tell us the secret to this, your youthfulness.
I wish I had. Well, being happy.
Awesome.
Yes. And maybe good genes.
Yeah.
A lot of people have good genes. Well, I always say, you know, when you wake up in the morning and your bones ache, etc., then you know that the ages are counting. But it's good to enjoy life and enjoy the family. That's very important to me. I'm a family person.
Yes, I can see that.
Yes, yes. So but after my job at the city, at the gemeente, I became a director of an international network of child helplines.
Wow.
And that's about the rights of children, the right to be heard. And I was, it is an international organization worldwide, so I did a lot of advocating and lobbying at the United Nations, at the African Union, all the different, international fora, which was very rewarding, you know, and a satisfying job to help children, you know.
Yes, who have no right.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's what I did, and at some point, yes, it was also, you come across a lot of, how do you say it, bad things happening to children, a lot of poverty, misery, etc. And at some point, you know, it's heartbreaking as well. Yes, so after a year of AIDS, I said, you know, it's good to take a step back, have a bit of a sabbatical, enjoy my grandchildren, do a few other things. So I become a mediating, doing conflict resolution, which is also something as, you know, studying a lot.
One too.
Yes. And so that's where I am. And then at some point I said, I became last year the president of the Dutch Women's Council, is basically also dealing with the rights of, in this case, rights of women, women's emancipation, talking about gender equality, very important that women are treated equally.
Yes.
As we are all human beings, so it's important to have that recognition, that respect as well.
Yes.
And also have the opportunities to develop ourselves.
It's very important.
That is very important.
It's very, very important.
And we can't do it alone. You need men as well, because we're all part of the same society, and you have men and women. So the support is very important. So that's what I'm advocating for as well.
Awesome.
A lot of issues are happening with women, you know, violence.
When we talk about this women emancipation, really,
yes,
what are they emancipating from? Because sometimes when we talk about women emancipation, so the majority of the women relate it only to them being emancipated from their household and from their husbands. And but you are a happily married woman, just like myself too, and you are still advocating for this.
Yes, because basically, this organization, this Women's Council, this year we celebrate our 120th anniversary. It started in the last century, and it's not that long ago, say last century in 1900 and, you know, 12, 20, women got the right, women got the right to vote. We didn't have that. So that's one of the things people are dealing with at that time. In the 50s of the last century, or even in the 60s, when I wanted to buy a television, I needed my husband's signature.
Really?
Yes. We weren't allowed to buy things.
Hey.
Women teachers, when they got married, they had to quit their job in the 1950s and 60s. So those are the things we were... And we
are being emancipated from.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And what's the case now? Now you could say we're emancipating, doing a lot of things. But what you see is that when you have the same job, you don't get equal pay.
Yes, that we know.
Yes, and that's one of the things. If you do the same things, why do you get less?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So there's still a few things that we have to strive for as women. And one of the things is also domestic violence.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
Yes.
And another thing, and that's why I'm also happy I'm, you know, number 5 on the list, is that it's important to have women on
the political
arena and also other influential positions. Because when you are there where you can make decisions, you have influence, and you can help each other and others who are less fortunate to do so.
Wow.
So it's important for women to be more involved in politics.
Yes.
Life is politics, but you know, and from there you can try to make changes where needed if you are in a position to do so. So it's important, I think, for us women to, although we are already emancipated a lot, but there's still a lot of things
that is ongoing, which we must be emancipated from.
Exactly. And exactly. And we're here in the Netherlands, but there are other countries where it's even worse for women.
It's true.
So we should be also have this solidarity to women internationally as well. But I'm not saying that the Netherlands is all that great, because there are countries where women are in charge when it comes to politics, in some countries in Africa as well, etc. So, but that's
the
why
way they are handling women in Dutch culture is a bit better.
Exactly, but you should
be a bit freer, with a more freer hand.
Exactly, but you should be on top of it. You know, I'd always be there to guide and guard your rights in a way.
So they should be on top of it. The way women are really pushing into trying to be on top. Is anybody suppressing them, or they are tired of being suppressed or being denied for all of these years, you know?
Yes, no. But of course, there are many ways to achieve your goals, isn't it? You can be smart, be strategic, you know. You don't always have to be very, you know, demonstrative, etc. But as long as you reach your goal, and as long as women support each other, I think that's important. But also men, because they're the ones, we have to do the things together, etc.
So we must have that mentality, we must have that mindset, not that we just want to kick them out, but we must have the
No.
mindset that we have to
Exactly.
work alongside with them.
Exactly.
Because, you know, that's one of the reasons why when men hear women talking about emancipation, they are thinking, okay, we just want to take over.
Exactly. No,
Completely.
not at all.
You know,
It's
take
all...
over and then bring them to where we were before.
Not at all. It's we want to join hands
Yes.
together.
Yes.
That's important,
Yes.
to do it together.
We
We're
have
in it
something to
together.
offer. Yes.
Exactly.
We have something also to
and
offer.
we can learn from each other.
It's true.
And of course,
Awesome.
women can educate men a bit on
Yes.
separate, but also the other way around.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
that's how we should.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Wow.
So no, we don't want to take over the world, but it has been proven that if you have successful companies and politics, if the rate is 50-50,
yeah,
things are going better.
Yes, it's true.
So you need this 50-50 approach, having enough women as well to work together.
I just hope that the African leaders, those who are leading us in Africa, will also get to hear this.
Yes.
Because it's like when we talk about this equality thing, emancipation, it's like it's not yet reaching to that side, you know.
I can imagine if you've always been
Rwanda,
in a certain...
that's the only place you have women in strategic positions,
Exactly.
you know, in their governmental sector.
Yeah.
Only in Rwanda,
so
just one country.
So many more countries
and
to
that
go.
was because
Many
of genocide, you know.
I know, yeah.
That happened to their men.
Yeah, but also here in the Netherlands, the balance is not 50-50.
Yeah, but it's true. It's true.
So that's why it's good to also urge women to go into politics. And that's one of the things we do in the Dutch Women's Council.
Yeah.
And at one point I decided I have to practice what I preach. So
okay. So now, is that what is bringing me to my second question to you? Yeah. Why did you just get a passion to want to enter into politics?
Yes.
When did it start, really?
Well, basically during my whole working life, I've always worked alongside politics and politicians.
Okay.
You know, I've supported the mayor, I've supported politicians, and a lot of things you do in life is related to politics as well.
Okay.
And also in my job when I was at the Child Helpline International, I used to work with politicians as well.
Wow.
So now, being back from all those international activities, I decided that if I really want to make a change,
you have to go in.
Yes, I shouldn't stand at the sideline and shout when things are not good. I should be there.
Yes.
And from within, try to make changes.
Wow.
And I'm not,
really.
Yes, but do it in my own humble, small way. Of course, I'm not the one who says, "Oh, I'm going to change everything," but. And the reason why as well, living in Amsterdam and also in Amsterdam Southeast, I'm also socially active in different organizations. Yeah. And you could see, I call it the anonymous poverty. You have many people are still suffering, not knowing, I jokingly say, but it's really very important that at some point when your money is, you don't have money left. Yeah. There still is a few weeks more to go before the end of the month. Yeah. And that's happening to a lot of people, a lot of families, a lot of, single moms as well.
In Southeast?
In Southeast, but also in Amsterdam. Okay, and that's something we should really take care of, because we are a very wealthy country, a wealthy city.
So do you think you have the solution? Do you think you have something to offer pertaining to this poverty thing? Because this poverty problem has been ongoing.
It has been ongoing. I think it's important to, how do you say it, come with the stories of the people. Okay. Bring it to politics. Say it's not about paper and percentage. It's a real life. Yes. This is what's happening. Their children are suffering. Some children don't go to school without breakfast. Yes. It has an effect on their development.
Exactly.
So those things with real life examples. So what I want, I'm not promising, mountains of gold, etc. No. But I want to be there for people to listen.
Awesome.
To be available. So that's where it starts, that people hear you and listen to you. And do something with that, and have those examples, and try to, because that's how politics work, if I get in, to come up with a proposal, lobby with the different parties, say this is really what needs to be done
Yes.
because it's important. And so you try to get things step by step, get it done, and hopefully help people in, you know, in a way you can. So,
Wow, this is awesome.
but that's one thing, huh? Because people say we need a house, we need money, but I think more important is, that's my approach, is to learn people or help people to help themselves. Because at some point you can promise a lot of things or give them a one-off, you know, little thing to help, and at some point they're back where they are. And it's important to empower people.
Empower them, yes.
And to teach them how they can help themselves.
Yes.
And that's more important.
Important
and
than the
start
little...
at, yes, so at some
Wow.
point they're able to do the things they want.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
probably a bit idealistic, but I really believe that's the approach you should have.
Yeah.
So the poverty is one thing,
Yeah.
but what is more important is education for our children.
Okay.
And it starts basically, especially for migrant children.
Okay.
It starts when you're born. They say, and what I've learned is, the first 4, 5, 6 years of your life are the most important years for the rest.
It's true.
You should basically put all the knowledge in children, talk to them so that they have a strong basis to
Yes.
work on. And what you see now is in the elementary schools,
Yeah.
children come who don't have that big start, you know, the good start of
Yeah.
life. And they have, from the start, they start at school at 6 years or 4 years, they already are behind.
Yes.
And that will continue till for the rest of their lives, in a way.
Oh, really?
Yes, so you have to really, also at high school, that's why it's important to have, they call it here in Amsterdam, the preschool.
Yeah, preschool, yes.
To give people, you know, who don't have the opportunity to bring their children to creches or etc., have to work, etc., to give their children the opportunity to, you know, be educated from the start, so they don't have this backlash when they continue, you know,
Yes,
going
I know
to
what
school.
you mean.
Because what you see now is many migrant children, although they have, you know, good knowledge for all the things you need, they're still looked at as, you know, not capable for a certain level of high school or going further.
True.
And they're rated lower.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
No,
because that's when, you know, you have,
It's terrible.
you're behind in your development.
Exactly. You're behind your mates.
And so it's important to be there from the start. So education is very important. And also...
So if I may understand you clearly, you will want to empower the women,
Yes.
To overcome poverty, do
Yes.
something, put
Yes.
something in the hands of
Yeah.
the people,
Yeah.
than only just giving them social,
Exactly.
probably.
No. Try to
empower
them.
them.
Exactly.
So to stay out of poverty.
Yeah.
Because I believe in that too.
Yeah.
So the second thing in your agenda is to educate the migrant children.
Yes, and have good education for them, you know, because if you have a good education, you're more likely to have a good job.
Yeah, it's true.
Although you have to struggle for it, but still, and that's, I think, very important. It's the future of our children.
Yeah.
And many of our children, they will stay here, you know, and so they're part of community. They're Dutch, and they should have the same level and the same opportunities as all the other children.
Okay, so what is your political assessment of this country? As at this moment, do you think your party is doing enough in this area we are discussing now?
I think it's never enough. You should always do more, much more as possible. And what I'm saying now, we are in an era of wealth. This is a rich country. Okay. You know, economic is booming. All kinds of opportunities are here.
Yeah.
So also the ones that are still have less should profit from those things.
Exactly.
So that's what is, I think, very important to strive for, and have this equal development. No one should be left behind. We're talking about an inclusive society. which means that everybody should have equal opportunities. Of course, within their own, way of dealing with it, but this country should, I think, and the city, of course, and the city council should pay a lot more attention to those who are who need it the most.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's
So what are you going to bring in? What are you bringing into the table?
So the things if I'm elected a city councillor,
yes,
I would like to put on the agenda better education for, of course, all the children, but specifically for migrant children.
yes,
And better education means more investment in the education. And I think also in, how do you call it, education after schools, etc.
Yes,
It's important that
it is.
Yes, and that's the start of the rest of your life. But the poverty, because that's where it starts, is to help people with families who are suffering, who don't have enough, and it has an effect on children. It has an effect on the lives of people. Basically, when there is not enough money, people are not looking far ahead. They're looking at what will happen tomorrow.
Exactly.
How do I get some money tomorrow?
Yes.
And that's how you live day by day.
Yeah.
And to get that stress off people will have a better effect also on, I think, the whole, the community, the family, the children, etc.
Wow.
So there are a lot of things, but it's good to, be very, clear about the things that are needed. In the
Well, let me just let those who are just joining us right now, in case you have just tuned in, this is Majestic Christian Television Network, and we are having 101 introducing Nenita La Rose to Amsterdamers. So Nenita is a candidate in the forthcoming Amsterdam municipal election. She is a contestant under PvdA, the Dutch Labour Party, and her number is number 5. So on the 21st March,
yes,
we would want those of you who are listening to us, join together with your family folks. Let us go and vote her in. I mean, she is interested in the development of the migrant child. I don't know what else you need. She is also interested in helping, to empower women who are in poverty. So, I mean, you've won my heart already.
Oh, thank you. So, because, I believe that everybody living in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, should have equal rights for, a good education,
Yes.
a good job.
Good education, good job.
Yes,
And stop
good
this
job.
cleaning time.
Exactly. And also it starts with having a good home, of course.
Yes.
Affordable homes are.
Yeah.
That's also what the Partij van de Arbeid, the PvdA, is striving for, affordable homes for everybody. And once
Which
you have
is
that,
good.
of course.
Because so many people are looking for homes now and they can't get home.
Exactly.
And when you call any of these winning housing agencies, they will tell you your number is number. So you have to wait for several years, have to wait for 8 years. So people are really in problems.
Yeah.
So something has to be done.
Exactly.
Something has to be done that will change the policies and then bring some realities to some of these political things, you know?
Yes, exactly. And I think what is also a very hot item, but it's something that is for a very international city as Amsterdam, a diverse city, is to have respect for diversity.
It's true.
That's where it starts with. So once you have that, I think that's the basis of everything, of how you have good relationships with each other, have a good community, etc. So I think when I said that, we've achieved a lot here in Amsterdam, but there is still a lot to be done. It's always to keep on top of it. And when you're in politics or when you're inside, you have an opportunity to push a bit further and get
with this knowledge, with all these ideas that are bubbling out from your heart. This is going to be my last question because of your time. Not my time. Because of your time.
Yes.
So what do you think? What can you, sincerely tell us were the issues with PvdA policies that made them not to have functioned effectively in their last election, and how what's going to be the way forward for them now?
Yes. What I always say is you have different parties, and parties are people. People are in the parties, and they make mistakes.
Yeah, okay.
And they do good things, they do bad things.
Yeah.
And I've also been sometimes very angry, also with my own party, how could they do these things, etc. But what I say is that people come and go.
Yeah.
And why I'm in the Partij van de Arbeid is because of the values.
Okay.
The values of solidarity. It's important to have, equal opportunities for development. And as I said before, you can stand alongside and say, I'm not happy with the party, I'm leaving, etc. Or you can try to make changes from within.
Yeah.
So I hope, I'm not promising anything.
No.
No, not at all, because you can't. It's more how I see it. I would like to have this personal approach and let people know that I'm there for them, and I'm there to listen. And it's very important that people know that they are heard.
Yeah.
You can't solve all those problems in the world, but if people are heard, if you listen to them, that's the first start.
Awesome.
Yes.
So as we are signing up right now, so look into the camera and talk to the migrant women who are watching you, what you will mean for them. Because I heard you talk about solidarity. Can you look into the camera and tell them what you will mean for them if you are being voted in?
Well, they're women, but also men. I've seen a lot. I've traveled around the world. I've seen a lot of misery, etc. I've had my own share. So when I talk to people, I not only hear them, but I can also feel them.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
And I think that's important to understand if you want to make changes or develop policies, etc., to know what the people are dealing with.
Yes.
And that's what it is. You are a representative of the people. So I hope that in my own small way, I can contribute to changes that can benefit you all.
Awesome. Awesome. I believe that you have heard it from her own mouth. So she will not make these little promises, even though she is telling us she's not promising anything. But please, trust me, I know that she's a woman that keeps her word, and I know that the passion of Nenita is where the migrant community is. So if a woman at least can stand up and be who God wants her to be, and also if a child can be given the opportunity to have the best type of education. I mean, these are values that it's only somebody who is passionate that will be able to say, these are the areas I want to focus on. So I call each and every one of you to join me on the 21st of March. Let's go to the voting desk and go and vote her in. She is the 5th candidate from PvdA. All right. Should they want to call you to talk to you, do you think it's important to leave your number?
Yes, of course.
All
I can do that.
Go ahead.
Oh, but
no, just say it. Okay.
Let me think before I give the wrong number.
Okay.
I have two numbers. I give you my
What's up?
Yes. My personal number is 06 46 31 25 31. I never call myself, so that's why.
Well, in case you didn't get it, you can call the Studio of Majesty TV, or you can call us on 020 3374160 and just ask for Nenita's number. We will
of course,
just be pleased to give it to
or
you.
my email, yes.
So, but I repeat, the number is 0646312531.
Exactly.
So we're looking forward to you coming out and joining us on the 21st of March to go and vote for this lady on the PvdA, number 5th candidate.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so that is it for now, Nenita. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
And you must know that we love you so much, and we love your husband. Mr. Marcella Rose.
And we love you.
Because we know
Yes.
that she's so open and have very good heart for Radio Voice of Niger.
Thank you.
So we hope that your wishes will be met.
Thank you so much.
Right,
Thank you for your support.
Yes, thank you so much. So, you, our audience, we thank you for watching this program. And remember, you can always go to our website or go to YouTube right now and download this clip and send it, let it go viral. Let the people know who they will vote in on the 21st of March. God bless you. We'll see you again. Let's say bye to them.
Bye-bye.